We are recording.
What is up, CineNerds?
Hey, I'm JP.
And I'm Ryan, and we've got some serious clowning around to do today because we are talking about our top five favorite clowns of horror today. And I've definitely got a decent honorable mention list, as I'm sure you do, JP.
So this is good. This I'm gonna be honest with you, and actually, let me get this pulled up here.
It was
Um,
harder than I thought it would be, for sure.
Man, I realized how little clown horror I watch. Making this list, my list is basic, man. I mean, I don't watch a lot of clown horror. So, like, and when you said something about doing a top five clowns of horror, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. That'll be a fun episode. Then I started going through films and trying to think, and I was like,
See,
I
this
can't
one,
think of a lot of clowns.
this one, I mean, I do think it's kind of basic for me too, but not by choice, more design, because when you get down to the nit and grit of it, there are core clowns, and then there is the independent and the small budget clown franchises, which are a little bit of a different league. They're great, but yeah, so I guess we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I mean, this is your pick, so we won't do paper, rock, scissors since we're over the internet. So, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll let you start it up.
So, my number five, I chose Stitches from the film Stitches.
So I have not seen Stitches.
Really?
No, that's not in my list or my honorable mentions.
Stitches, and this is one actually I just when I got that set, the double feature set with Bunny the Killer thing and um, Sky Sharks. I had actually bought a new Blu-ray copy of Stitches because it was on sale. I got it for $2
Okay,
at this website because the case was broke. They were selling stuff on clearance for like broken cases and shit, and so I got it for $2 from Blu-ray
that,
just because the case was broke.
that's not
And
bad at all.
I wanted to revisit. That was the one I wanted to revisit before adding him to my list because it's been since the movie first came out since I've actually watched it, and so I don't remember a ton about the film other than the best of my what I remember is Stitches is a clown that he dies, and essentially his ghost or um, whatever comes back, and he goes on like a slasher killing spree as Stitches the clown, um, killing these all these people that kind of caused his death. Uh, and the film is insane. Like everything I can remember about it is it's insane, and the kills are fantastic, and he's a fucking weirdo clown. Like I said, don't quote me on because it's been a while since I watched it. Best I remember, he was like a really nice guy. But then he when he comes back as like a vengeful spirit, he is no longer that nice clown, And
Yeah.
the film is good. The film is really fucking good, and he's one of these clowns I think a lot of people missed, and he is one that I think a lot of people need to go. And I want to go back and revisit him because I was over the moon when I first saw this film with him in it and his clown character. I was just like, this is like in Pennywise territory, and with clown horror, and I absolutely fucking love Stitches. So Stitches Clown's my number five.
Nice. Uh, my number five is going to be debatable, but I'm going with it because I love him. Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses, and the reason I chose him. So I'm going to be real frank. Rob Zombie, for me, he's got two shining lights out of all of his movies. The first one is House of a Thousand Corpses. I absolutely love House of a Thousand Corpses. If nothing else, Captain Spaulding and Dr. Satan make the entirety of the film for me. And I would love to see a film based on just Dr. Satan because he's that creepy and that awesome. The other part for me was when he did the Halloween, but he showed us Michael's childhood and the way he was in the insane asylum and how he kind of came up. And I loved that. I loved it. We got to know young Michael. The other half of the movie was garbage, but most of the Rob Zombie stuff, I'm not too hip to, except for House of a Thousand Corpses. That one, I don't know why, but that one just so dark and good. And Captain Spaulding, just there's this sick. I love a good sick, desperate laugh from a psychopath. And dude, that the actor who plays him, rest in peace, but he nailed every single line he had. He was excellent. So
So I'm just going to piggyback off of your number 5 into my number 4. Because my number 4 is Captain Spaulding.
ah,
Um, so, like you, I'm not a fan of Rob Zombie's films. Uh, that being said, I'm not even a big fan of House of a Thousand Corpses, or like I like to call it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 ripoff.
but
Um,
it's done well, so I'm good with it.
but I'm not a big fan of House of a Thousand Corpses, except every scene Captain Spaulding is in. Captain Spaulding is the best thing to me about that film, and he's the best thing about Devil's Rejects. Now, you said that Rob Zombie has 2 films that you think are shining lights. I think he has 2 films as well, but they're 2 different films than you chose. I think Devil's Rejects is that shining light. I love Devil's Rejects,
So
and
go ahead.
my second film that I love that he did, which does not have the character Captain Spaulding in it or the actor, which is the Munsters movie.
You're the first person I heard say they like that.
I love the Munster film. Like, I hated it the first watch. Second watch, I fell in love with it. I have all the NECA figures for that film. Like, I love his Munsters film. I think Rob Zombie's a horrible filmmaker. I think he's a fantastic cinematographer. I think he's a horrible storyteller.
So I'll go further on that. I don't think he's a horrible filmmaker. I think that he unfortunately he is shackled by the constraints of the big companies, the big studios. I think that if you gave him creative reign and he could do the things he wants, you'd see a lot more of an intensity about him. And I Captain Spaulding was great, but like for me, the shining light in House of Thousand Corpses was Doctor Satan. I loved everything about Doctor Satan. The look, I want that NECA figure.
Yeah.
No, but
I,
I
I,
mean,
I like Dr. Satan too, but yeah, no, Captain Spaulding, no. Between what he did in House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, he's he's just iconic. He's fucking good. You believe he is fucking fucking demented fucking guy. You know.
and Sid Haig's been in a bunch of other movies that are phenomenal and had these awesome little roles. And I wish I would have gotten a chance to meet him. I bet you did. You might have met him. And Rick Bolton, I bet, has met him.
I actually never got a chance to meet him either. So
Okay, yeah, no, I would have loved to. I've got a few friends who knew him dearly and spoke so highly of him. So just to know that he was awesome outside of film and then to deliver us Captain Spaulding is pretty badass.
well, you're number 4 because that was mine.
All right, so number four is a little obscure because he really is just a small part of the movie, but the impact he had on me as a child is foundational. It is the Poltergeist clown. That whole scene in Poltergeist was spectacular as a little kid. Just the horror, the way it moved, the arm stretching and wrapping around him in bed, like that shit gave me nightmares as a kid. When, especially because like when Poltergeist came out, that was like peak cinema right there. So there weren't like any fancier, CGI or any other horror elements. It's just kind of what it was. It's practical effects, and the way they worked with it was spectacular. And I, as a kid, seeing that, that was one of those things you went to sleep with, thinking, if there's a fucking stuffed animal in my room or a clown, I'm in trouble. Like that
Yeah.
was kind of one of those things that before Chucky even hit me, that clown hit me.
And I had completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so
Forgot about the yeah,
he
completely
he, he
flaked
made
on
my
that one.
list.
That's a good that's an obscure one that I'm sure a lot of people would not think of. But yeah, that's awesome.
What
Um,
you got for three?
so this is where I'm gonna make a lot of people mad
Oh no.
because my number three, which I'm sure is most people's number one, Tim Curry's Pennywise.
First of all, you don't know me.
Tim Curry's Pennywise because I mean, let's face it, Tim Curry in anything is he's the best. Whether it was Clue, whether it was um, the
Home Alone.
Home Alone, uh, the demon or the devil in Legend, or
Oh my God, so good.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, he's done a little bit of everything. Um, but him playing Pennywise as a kid, that shit creeped me out. I mean, I was just like, he was just so iconic in that character, and that's what a lot of people know him as is Pennywise. You know, from the 1990s It Stephen King's It, and the makeup, the creepiness with the gnarly mouth and teeth when it gets to those scenes, the way he just the voices things as Pennywise the clown. I he is he is kind of the blueprint for what you want a psychotic clown to be. And Tim Curry kind of set the standard when he portrayed Pennywise in the 90s. And that's to me that is always a go-to, and I understand why most people will say that's their number one. Yeah, he's my number 3.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. And this is still everyone else out there, I'm sure, will have their own top five clowns, and it's all subject to opinion. So if that's where you put him, that's where you put him, and that's cool. I mean, the fact that he's on the list is important because
Yeah.
he is foundational. All right, my number three is going to be a little bit of a curveball because I don't know a lot of people that have actually seen this movie. You may have, I don't know, but it was The Jester, and hear me out in this.
I you know, I did watch a lot of clown horror back X amount of a handful of years ago, and I feel like that was one of them that I watched, but I couldn't recall a thing about it.
So this is one that I had in my queue forever, and I never really put it to the front. It never really made its way there, and something about the mask kept pulling me in. The allure, that promo picture with the mask. So I start watching it, and the craziness about the Jester to me is that when I got done watching it, I didn't know if there was a demonic spirit that was acting as this Jester and doing his will, or if this girl's or people's depression manifested themselves into this being and we weren't actually experiencing a jester. And to me, that was more horrific than anything. So the jester is one of those ones that I watch it, I enjoy it, but I enjoyed it because it left me thinking after I got done watching it. If a movie can sit with you and keep going after you've seen it days afterwards and like make you really question a lot, then it's good. And the Jester did that for me. And this is one of those really, really small, independent works, but a great cast, solid cinematography, but just very. I guess some of the cast was inexperienced, so great for their level of acting. But man, the Jester, it's one of those deals too where you don't have an Art the Clown or a Pennywise, it's a mask. So it's all dependent upon tilts of the head, figure nods or gestures, no pun intended. Um, but the way that it's perceived and portrayed is just spectacular. It sat and left an impression.
All right, so we're in our bottom 2 already,
Yep.
and we've other than Captain Spaulding, we've not had duplicates yet. So let's see where we're at. My number two is Art the Clown.
Uh, uh,
My number two is Art the Clown. You know, for obvious reasons. I mean, he's already
well, I was gonna say, just let me just say, I'll rip the band-aid off. My number two is art as well. So let's just dive into art.
yeah. So yeah, Art the Clown. I mean, he's he's already become a horror icon between All Hallows Eve, Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. Um, and he he's sadistic. He's funny. He's absolutely the films are absolutely a gore fest with the kills. He has the most insane bonkers kills of probably any character I can think of on film between all of his films. With sawing a girl in half or cutting their skin, filleting them, and pouring salt and bleach on them.
Or showing a mother her daughter in bed and laughing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, or using his freeze gun to freeze Santa Claus and take a hammer and start beating the the limbs off after he's frozen them while they're still alive. I mean, this guy's there's not. I don't think there's any kind of kill. I don't know how they're going to keep making inventive kills for this guy. You know, because he's kind of done a little bit of everything. You know, between even shooting them. You know, with a gun. You know, he's done simple shit and he's done crazy shit. And but the way that the character is portrayed with, like you said, the tilting of the head or the grin and the smile and the pause and grin and
Well,
stares. You know, it's just the character makes me uneasy at times, especially when I originally watched the first Terrifier. Just the diner scene alone in the first Terrifier, or the pizza shop scene, it made me uncomfortable for the women that he was just sitting there fucking with in that scene. Like he can make you feel uncomfortable.
yeah, and like the gesture though, that's a mask to me, but Art still is a silent character, but his facial expressions, holy shit, do they convey so much, and I love it because it's almost like an innocent toddler, but also an experienced and knowledgeable demon. So there's this weird little give and take of you feel comfortable when he's smiling for a second, and then you're like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble. Like so, I love everything about Art the Clown. I honestly wish I would have had my art animatronic set up behind me for this one. I didn't think about it till just now, but I go out of my way to try and find. I went on a hunt last year to find the Art the Clown animatronic at Spirit Halloween, and I landed it. I found it, but he's become quickly, easily one of my favorites of all time, clown wise and horror for that matter. He's up there. He's next to Pinhead for me. So I thoroughly love Art, and I think that I'm excited to see part four. If I had to guess, I think that they're going to. I feel like they're going to tap back into All Hallows Eve, where we saw the other demons. Was it that one or was it the other one?
Was the other one was like the Seventh Circle or something like that?
Yeah, so All Hallows Eve was when they had the other demons, though. Well, I think both of them had a little bit of them, but I think you're going to get more of those because I thought I heard that this was going to be the final chapter of Art, but kind of show his
That's what I
origins.
read. Yeah.
So, but I don't feel like they're going to give up on this franchise as a whole just yet. So I think there might be different demons to explore. So, however they go with this, I hope it's worthy and it's fun, and I'm excited for it.
Alrighty. Well, our number twos matched.
Yep.
Will our number ones match, or did I already say your number one?
I'm just saying our number ones won't match.
Figured. So my number one is the clown movie that I have watched the most of any other clown movie ever made, and it's not just one clown. It's not just two clowns. It is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Them as a whole. You've got Slim. You've got Shorty. I mean, you've got abundance of different versions and characters of clowns in this film, and I love the silliness. I love the silliness of the film. I love the comedy of the film. The some of the weird shit that they would do, like no different than them sticking their hand up the back of the sheriff and making him talk, like a puppet. They had cotton candy guns, and that they would shoot people with and cocoon people in cotton candy cocoons. They had popcorn guns. Everything about the Killer Clowns from Outer Space screams a JP movie. Even though it's not really a very gory film, everything about it screams a JP movie, and that's why these are my number one clowns, and that's why they're my background. I was telling this story from the beginning that these were my number one.
So, Killer Clowns from Outer Space are on my honorable mentions, and they only didn't make my top five list because I thought it was too predictable for me. Because I would have put them probably in the top two, but I bumped them out because I wanted to give the other people a fair shot. But Killer Clowns is foundational. Also, that was I feel like I took Killer Clowns a lot better than I did the Poltergeist Clown because they were so silly and quirky and it was fun. Uh, I love the cotton candy blood bags, and they just pop a straw in when they're thirsty. Like, there's so many good aspects to Killer Clowns, even if you find it cheesy or it's not up to the current cinema standards because of when it was shot. The idea of it, the story of it, all great. I own the video game. Anything I can get my hands on is Killer Clowns. I try to.
Yeah, yeah. It's they're not the most terrifying clowns, but they're my favorite.
I mean, kind of, because they just have those ray guns that can shrink you or turn you into the cotton candy. They got all their different devices and tools, and I wouldn't mind being one of the Killer Clowns for Halloween if I'm being honest. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're solid.
you're number
All right,
one.
my number one. Okay, so I am going to expand upon your number three, and I'm saying the character of Pennywise in both incarnations. So, and the reason why I say that is because I do feel like Tim Curry defined Pennywise to us all, especially his first viewings. To me, I read the book It before I saw the movie because I was young, A, and B, at the time, because I was a poor kid, we had basic TV. I didn't have cable. I didn't have any which way to view it when it first came out. I was just not. Even I think it was a mini series on TV, and it was on time of night that I
It
couldn't even
was.
be up to see it. Yeah, so like I the best thing I could do since I had to wait for the VHS to come out was to read this massive fucking book, which I first time I saw it, I'm like, I can't do this. This is too big because I was a little kid. But I stole that thing from my dad and I had it hidden under my bed and I would read chapter by chapter every day. I got through it and I definitely think the book is far better. But the way that Tim Curry brought Pennywise to life was so superb, down to everything from his welcoming smile turning into the teeth monster to everything he did. I was just hooked on it and drawn into it, and he was great. But then you fast forward, and we get Skarsgård's Pennywise, and you've got I don't know how Tim Curry was with the kids on the set when he filmed, but Skarsgård was so concerned about the kids as he was filming because of the horror and the scenes that they were doing that he would check on them between takes. He'd be like, "You guys okay? Everyone doing all right? This is just a suit. We're all on the same page." Like, I find respect in that because what he was doing, he's got a lazy eye, and he incorporated that into his Pennywise, and he really just I don't know. He brought it to a new generation with a new level of scare. Um, Even that scene where he's standing across the water and he's waving the arm, part of an arm, like there's so many elements. So I think the clown himself, Pennywise, in both incarnations, really takes that first seat for me as a whole. Uh, Personally, I would probably put Art around one, and Pennywise would probably go behind that. But because of the generational impact, I put Pennywise above Art.
I get that, and I put Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise as my honorable mention.
Fair.
Yeah, because he just I don't know. There's something about Tim Curry for me, and now what Skarsgård did with Pennywise, he did fantastic. He a lot of ways he may have probably did better than Curry, um, but there's just something iconic about the Curry version of Pennywise for me.
I mean, the iconic part is Curry. Like he is iconic for sure, but because we're talking about clowns, not just the actor, I had to put them together for me. But
Yeah.
Curry, like especially when you like my first introduction to Curry was definitely The Devil and Legend, and I didn't know that little man was what was behind that giant fucking. They really went all out with that makeup and the prosthetics on that, and the way he conveyed such power and raw anger into that, being such a little dude, I was blown away. I'm like, this dude's awesome.
Mhm.
And mind you, I've never seen, and I know a lot of people still give me shit about this. I've never seen Little Shop of Horrors. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. So when I get grief on those two, Rocky Horror Picture Show is definitely one of those ones I should have seen, but I didn't yet.
And the thing with Rocky Horror, we used to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show nights at the movie theaters in Charlotte when I still lived in North Carolina growing up. And so we would go or to those events where everybody would dress as the characters and they would sing and dance throughout the whole movie, and it was just a huge event for us. And I couldn't count on both my hands of how many times that I went to the theater and watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show at those events, and it was just a blast. I don't even know if they still do those or not.
I think I don't. Maybe it's this past weekend we just missed it. So Agora just did a kind of like what we did with Zombie. They did a screening of that where they had a live band doing the soundtrack with the movie, and I was going to go to that, but I didn't get to see that. But they had it at the big screen, they had it playing there, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and anytime they have a Rocky Horror event like that, they were in the '90s. When we used to go to those events in the '90s as a kid, teenage kid. Say kid, teenage kid, or early 20s kid. I had the time of my life with me and my friends that we would go and we would do the dances, we would sing the songs, and it was a fucking blast. Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. All right, do we want to go round for round? What do we want to do here with this?
Yeah, I'll go with my number 6, which I got as Papa Corn,
No idea
which
about
is
that guy.
Circus of the Dead.
Okay, no, I have
And
not seen
and
this.
and there's a sequel, Circus of the Dead, that is coming out soon. Decade later after the first one, because the first one came out, I think they were pretty close to the same time as the first Terrifier film. And it's a good film. Like a lot of people really were like, which one of these clowns is going to be the the bigger film, because they were both kind of well received when the first Terrifier came out and Circus of the Dead came out. And Papa Corn was um, kind of held in a very high regard for a while. But his problem was he didn't get a sequel until now. His sequel is finally getting ready to come out. So
That's like number three was Jester for me, and Jester is finally getting a sequel. I didn't think it was going to get a sequel, so I'm excited about that. All right, so I guess I didn't really put these in order, so I'm just going to kind of go down my list. But in my honorable mentions, we'll start off with what I've already talked about: Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They are the easiest for me, and honestly, they should have been on my top five without a doubt. They are spectacular in numerous regards. Had I not put the Pennywise in there, it would probably have been Art one, and then two would have been Killer Clowns. I love everything about them. I love the silliness, the quirkiness, the way that it's delivered and executed. Just a good fan favorite. And if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a long time, as we get into Halloween, it's so important to go check that movie out because it's definitely foundational.
um, uh, what I had on my other honorable mention was Michael from Carnival of Souls, the clown from Carnival of Souls remake, which was played by Larry Miller. If you know who Larry Miller is, he's kind of a character actor that's been in lots of films. He was the principal in Necessary Roughness. Um, he's his clown was just weird. It was just one of those. If you never, it's really just more about me saying wanting to mention Carnival of Souls. If you've never seen Carnival of Souls, it's a cool fucking movie. And the
Well,
remake and the original is even better than the remake.
I have Stitches, Circus of the Dead, and Carnival of Souls on my new list to watch. So All right, next for me, I'm gonna go with Clown in a Cornfield. This was one of those ones that I kept putting to the side as well, and I was like just thinking, oh boy, another clown. It did come out in digital recently, but I still like. I debated going to the theater at first. I debated pirating it. I debated everything, but I kept putting it off and putting it off, putting it off. Finally watched it, and I was actually surprised at the clown in this is Friendo. Friendo is the name of the clown, and there is essentially it's a community that is very engrossed in farming and dairy, and the face of this their product is Friendo the clown, and they find ways to make Friendo a more threatening device, if you will. I don't want to give away too much about this one because it definitely has a twist and it pans out, but it's not what you'd normally think for a serial killer clown scenario. So if you haven't seen it, give it a go. Go in it open minded. I think you'll be pretty impressed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I've not watched Clown of the Corn yet, and I was
Clown of
looking
the Corn.
Clown of the Corn or Clown of the Cornfield or whatever it's called.
It's Children of the Corn meets Clown in the Cornfield.
um, I wanted to actually start to go to the movie theater and watch it when it came out, and I didn't, and I've not watched it yet. But like I said, I knew it just hit digital as well.
It's definitely a fun one. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it, but it's definitely worth a watch.
I think I like the title "Clown of the Corn" better.
Yeah, but if because of Children of the Corn, I get it. But that was funny that you did the mix up and mash up.
We got a sharks of the corn.
Clown NATO. Let's do a Clown NATO.
I think there is a clown NATO.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I'm pretty sure there is. I think when I was looking up clown movies, I'm pretty sure that came up.
Why not? Everything
Uh,
else has been put in a tornado.
so I already talked about my honorable mention of Skarsgård as Pennywise. So I'm gonna do my last honorable mention, which is Clown, Violator, Spawn, John
Fair.
Leguizamo.
Okay.
His John Leguizamo's Clown and Spawn. He is the gem in that horrible fucking movie. Like he
Oh, I
is
disagree,
fantastic.
sir. I disagree. I think that movie was great.
I'm a huge
I
Spawn fan, and I watch it. I watch it for the shit movie that it is. But
but
John
here's the thing. Okay, so
Leguizamo's
take
clown is the highlight of that film, and then there's no denying that.
I do agree, but I also know that Simmons, the guy who that played him, that bodysuit was an eighth of an inch thick. That was him, like
Oh yeah,
legit.
yeah. No, he's
And
huge.
and
He's still jacked.
yeah, oh yeah.
He still looks young enough, even though he's older, and he's still in great shape. I want to see him come back for the remake, but I know it's not going to happen.
Well, I think we discussed that guy, that actor from something else we did.
Yeah, we did.
Uh,
We did Black Friday. He was in Black Friday.
that's right. Yeah, and he was like he looked no different than when he filmed
Yeah,
Spawn.
yeah.
Um, to me, I, comic book movies, we've discussed this time and time again, but to me, I cannot hold a movie from comics to the original book. If I do, I will never find myself enjoying any of them, and I'll be a miserable, cynical asshole to every one of them. So I went into this with fresh eyes, not comparing the comics, and I enjoyed it for what it was.
I enjoy it for what it is, but as a hardcore Spawn fan, it was not that good. I mean, it wasn't rated R. It was PG-13. It wasn't what it should have been. And at this point, the CGI is trash in it. But now I can watch it as
Well,
a
yeah, at
shitty.
this point,
Yeah, I can watch it as a shitty film and love it.
but
But
you got to remember too, like when this shit came out, that was peak. That was great.
oh yeah, yeah, no, it was.
And the soundtrack, I'll die on the hill. That soundtrack's amazing.
Yeah, no, it is.
All right, so I guess my next one, I've got two more. Next one is Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story. I loved. It's not a movie; it's a series, but he's definitely a clown of horror, and the way they portrayed him was excellent. I loved it. The actor that played him was excellent. He was, I think, he was a cross dresser on the Drew Carey show. The actor who did that, Twisted the Clown, and he's this big dude. He's not a little dude by any means. And so like him being Twisty was just superb. It was awesome. Honestly, the highlight of that season for me was Twisty the Clown, and they didn't utilize him enough. He's such an underutilized character. I would like to see a lot more of him. Do you have another one, or you want me to roll into this last one?
That's it. That's all I had.
All right, so my last one is Andy Powers is the name of the character portraying Clown from the movie Clown. This movie is it's independent, it's low budget, it's really dark, and even in the movie poster, it's a dude with a bandage over his nose. Um, this guy, his kid is about to have a birthday party. The clown bails last minute. He's like a contractor who's building up this house that he's taken over. And in the basement, there's some old attire, and he puts on what he thinks is a clown suit. This clown suit turns out to be cursed, and it's made of human skin, and it starts bonding with him, and he just starts developing certain appetites, we'll say, and specifically kids. And so it gets really dark. By the way, JP, none of the kid stuff is shown per se, so it's not anything crazy, but it's still alluded to. And the way that the story transpires and goes through, it's pretty dark. So if you have a hankering to watch a good clown film that's horrific and independent, Clown. It's just called Clown, and the version I watched, is on Netflix.
All right. You got any honorable mentions, real quick?
Oh, yeah. So I got two. So the first one is I feel like it's a staple at this point for a lot of people because they couldn't get the original cast from Silence of the Lambs. I don't know what the stipulations were, and we got Red Dragon to come up afterwards. I recently rewatched Red Dragon. I feel like Anthony Hopkins does an amazing job in this, backed by Ed Norton's in this. Ralph Fiennes is in this. He plays the Red Dragon. Just the way that these things, or is it Ralph Fiennes? No,
It's Ralph Fiennes.
okay. It is
Yeah.
okay. But the way that this movie I mean, there's so many more cast in this that are good. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But that movie is fucking spectacular, and I forgot how good it was. So this was like a rewatch many years later, and it really was good. And they even segued it into what would become Silence of the Lambs at the end. They tie it in.
Yeah.
And the other one is an die-hard independent film. It's a zombie film, and it's called Blood Quantum. And this one is actually it's filmed on a American Indian reservation, the Red Crow tribe specifically, and a zombie outbreak impacts the world. And the blood, though, of this specific indigenous tribe is immune to the virus, and so it just shows their survival side of things. Now, I'll remind you, it's independent, it's low budget, and it's kind of more like it could be an offshoot or like a couple episode offshoot of Walking Dead, almost the way it's filmed. But it's worth the watch if you're a diehard zombie fan. So I recommend that.
So I'm gonna recommend a new movie, Strangers Chapter 2. Went to the theater the other week, and I fucking loved Chapter 2. Did you go
You're
see this one?
recommending it. I didn't
Yeah.
see it yet.
I did not much care for Chapter 1. Um, it was okay. It wasn't great. You know, I liked the main actress in it because she was in Riverdale. So but watching the trailers for Chapter 2, I kind of was like, you know what, I'm kind of interested, you know, so I was blind watch day off work, and I was like, I'm gonna go watch Strangers Chapter 2, and man, I really fucking enjoyed that movie. Yeah, it's way better than Chapter 1. Way better than Chapter 1.
I love the actress. She's my favorite redheaded actress that is from Riverdale. I love her. She makes any viewing a little bit easier on the eyes.
Yeah.
So
The only thing I will say about Chapter 2 that I did not like was it leaves a to be continued because you know there's going to be a Chapter 3. So,
yeah, there's a cliffhanger. Okay.
mhm.
Well, the wife wants to go see that. She's big into the Strangers franchise, and so it means a lot for her to see it. So I'm going to end up having to see it. I managed to find a copy, but there might be some people walking through.
Yeah.
So it's we'll go to the theater and give it its due respects.
Alrighty. CineNerds podcast.com. Also, if you would, if you see us posted online, share our posters or flyers for our upcoming episodes. Share this video. Leave a comment on this video. Click like on this video. You know, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. Spotify, you can leave comments on the Spotify episodes now, so you can leave a comment there. Um, Share all this with your friends. CineNerdsPodcast.com. You can follow mine and Ryan's Letterbox accounts. You can check reviews, written reviews. We have all of our links to our Spotify, to our Apple Podcast, to our YouTube. We need to gain some more followers on this YouTube channel. So yeah, let's
You
keep building
you
this.
you've bored them enough. Let me talk about the fun stuff. November 20th is our 100th episode. So, why am I talking about this? Because I really want you guys to push it out there. We want to have all hands on deck for our November 20th, 100th episode. So, share it, talk about it. You'll see some posts and videos coming from us, and just any way you can cycle those out. We want to have everybody coming in for that 100th episode and make some fun memories.
Absolutely. All righty. Till next week.
Later.
Later.